Welcome. In this video, we're going to be going over how to use PokerCruncher, available on the App Store and all Apple devices. So what we're going to be doing is using the app to go over a hand that I recently played and deduce the player's hand range and how our hand's equity and how its chance to win stacks up against the player's entire range and what we think that he might have. This particular hand is a 5-5 hold'em game. Stacks are 1,300 effectively. When I say effectively, that means that the biggest stack is that anybody can win is 1,300. The villain has 1,300. I cover. It doesn't really matter. I could have 1,300. The effective stack would be 1,300. So we're pretty deep. We're 260 big blinds deep. Again, it's 5-5. We're on the button. We have ace-5 of diamonds. And so we'll be player number one. There's player number one, player number two. We'll be player number one. We just enter in our hand here at the bottom, populate our hand. We have ace-5 of diamonds. And then now we have to build a range for him. Anybody can type in, if you know his exact hand, you see it on the river, you saw your chance to win, you knew what his hand was, which we can go back to at the end of the video. But right now we're playing against a range since we cannot see his whole cards. So we click on the second player, and then we come down here to the range button, and then we start building a range. Now we can use the slider to kind of give him a default range. This particular villain, it doesn't play as like super out of line. He's pretty aggressive. He's competent. He is a little bit splashy. He plays fairly straightforward, nothing crazy, tricky. And so for a type player, you might want to range someone in the low teens. A looser player, and he's under the gun. You might want to play someone in like the mid 20s, mid or low 20s, and then further aggressive in the 30s, and that's just kind of getting out of line. You don't see very much higher than that from villains unless they're like complete maniacs, in which case they're kind of all over the map. So we're not going to actually use the slider. We're going to use another feature, which is combos, or built-in. We're going to give them the pairs. So you click on the pairs and you hit add. So you can see it's populated in yellow what we have added. And now these two shades of blue, these just mean these are suited cards. These means the darker blue means that they're unsuited cards, and then the white means pocket pairs. Those yet. So we're going to give him some more. We're going to give him some medium pairs. We click medium, then add. We're going to give him, let's see, we'll give him some Broadway, like suited Broadway. And then let's go ahead and give him a handful of aces. We'll just go ahead and manually add those. So we type ace-9, add, it moves over, we hit add again, add. Let's not give him ace-6 suited. We'll leave the lower aces, which is kind of a weird range. I would rather be raising these lower aces from early position than a hand like ace-6 or ace-7 or ace-8. We'll give him ace-king. Now, ace-queen, ace-jack. Let's even say he raises ace-10. We'll give him king-queen offsuit, king-jack offsuit, but not queen-jack offsuit, not king-9 suited. We'll kind of stop there. We'll give him some suited connectors as well to kind of change it up a little bit. That looks pretty good. He's probably not going to be raising sixes plus. He does like to limp a fair amount, which is actually, we came to kind of a not crazy out of line range. Under the gun, we'll kind of give him the benefit of the doubt. That's 14.2%. Okay. And now it automatically knows, PokerCruncher automatically knows that he can't have the ace of diamonds in his hand, so all the ace combos are not going to have the ace of diamonds in his hand because we have the ace of diamonds. So let's see how our hand range stacks up against his hand range. So we hit the calculate button. It's pretty close, he is a slight favorite, 50, 58, 42. So in this hand, again, it's 5-5. I straddle on the button with ace-5 of diamonds to $10. The small blind calls, the big blind calls. He raises to 40, which is kind of a smaller open. I'm not super crazy about it. There's a lot of players left to act. Stacks are pretty deep. You could probably raise a little bit larger. But sometimes I'm on the button again. I'm definitely going to defend. The question is whether I should 3-bet or just call. Sometimes I might 3-bet this hand because I block an ace, and the wheel is pretty sneaky. It's, you know, if they have an overpair, they're not going to see the wheel very often. This is a hand that I would like to 3-bet sometimes, sometimes not. I end up calling. The small blind folds, the big blind calls. We're 3 ways to the flop. There's $130 on the flop. The flop is ace of spades, king of spades, 3 of diamonds. Now, I have top pair. I have a backdoor wheel draw, backdoor flush draw, and I have top pair, like I said. Top pair, weak kicker, can be pretty tough to play. I end up pot controlling a good amount of time with this hand. Now, in the action goes, the big blind checks. The original raiser, the villain under the gun, he bets 90 into 130 bucks. Folding here seems a little bit nitty and exploitable. I'm going to call and kind of reevaluate the turn. I don't really like to raise just yet, turn my hand into a bluff. I mean, if he's got, you know, a weaker pair or some sort of draw, I want to charge him. He's not going to be folding these pretty big combo draws. I'm not going to be folding a big ace to a raise just yet. Our stacks are pretty deep. I don't want to bloat the pot. I end up calling. The big blind folds. Now we're through about 300 and change to the pot, or to the turn. The turn is the 8 of diamonds. Actually, let's go back here. I want to clear that card. Let's see how his range stacks up here. So, and his range just changed. We need to back it up. Okay, so now I'm actually beating his range, his default range, but we haven't changed what he would be betting flop with. So we definitely need to change his range here. So let's go to range. Okay, so we're gonna keep some of these. Now he's definitely gonna be betting 6-7 of spades, but not like 6-7 of diamonds necessarily. So let's take away the hearts and the clubs. Maybe he does bet 6-7 of diamonds some of the time. So we'll leave that one in there. We'll hit that, we'll hit combos, and you can see that this is changed by the green symbol. Let's say that, you know, he doesn't bet 8-7 of diamonds, but he does bet 6-7 of diamonds. That kind of just gives him, sometimes he'll bet the back door, sometimes he won't, because you can't really have a weight. You can't really put a weight on each of these combos. Plus it would just take forever, and we're not that nerdy. Okay, so he doesn't bet 9-8 suited, but he does bet 10-9 suited of diamonds. We're leaving all of these spade combos in there. Let's say sometimes he bets king jack. Obviously he's not going to bet those because he doesn't have the, sorry, he does bet those. He's not going to bet the king of spades because he doesn't have the king of spades. We'll say he bets like some of these, but sometimes he doesn't. So let's say he bets some of these kings, king queen offsuits. Sometimes he doesn't. He's not going to be betting queens. I've seen him check fold a hand where the flop is ace high. There's 4 to the flop. He has kings, and someone bets like, you know, a half pot or something like that, and he rage folds, you know, pocket kings. He shows and rage folds pocket kings. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove queens altogether. I'm not going to be betting jacks or 10s or 9s or 8s or 7s, so we'll just remove all of those. He's definitely going to be betting ace 10, ace jack plus here. He'll be betting all of the aces that he raised with. We'll hit done, then hit calculate. Now we're pretty close to a coin flip. See, before we were behind his, or ahead of his range. Now we're pretty close to a coin flip because he's not a bluff maniac. Okay, so again, folding seemed too nitty, so we ended up calling. Now the turn again was the 8 of diamonds, and this is a great card for us. And we were probably gonna have a pretty big decision to make. He comes out and he bets 300. Okay, so unlikely he's gonna be bluffing with some crazy hands. Let's go ahead and change his range. Let's see what he has here. He bets 300. Now against his range, we're actually ahead of a lot of his default range, but we haven't changed again. So let's go back. We'll say he's going to continue to barrel the spade combos, but none of the, and the diamond combos. I screwed that up already. Okay, we'll go back here. We'll give him the queen 10 of diamonds as well. So diamonds and spades. Okay, now he didn't bet that one. He didn't bet that one. He did bet that one. We'll keep giving him the diamonds so he can rep diamonds. Let's say he's not going to be betting the king, so we'll go ahead and remove the king jack and the king queen. He might check ace 10 here. Sometimes he might bet it, so then we can go back to combos. Got to remove these combos, obviously. I don't know that if you go into combos, if it removes them, if you've changed the other ones. But I do know that it should in theory see the board and know that he can't have, you know, ace of diamonds in his hand or ace of spades, since those are both dead cards. So let's say that half the time, okay, these are the only remaining combos that he can have of ace 10. These are the combos right here that are bracketed. So if half the time he's betting ace 10, half the time he's not, we'll just remove half the combos. So now that leaves half the combos. Okay, that will give us an accurate depiction of that particular hand. Okay, I don't know if I was done here. So let's go back to this, hit range. I think he'll probably end up checking ace 7 of spades here, or ace 7 of, he can't have ace 7 of diamonds. He'll probably remove that one. He'll check ace 8. He would check ace 9, so we need to remove those. He can't have ace 10 of spades. He might even check ace 10 of spades, or ace 10 of spades, ace 10 suited. So, oops, cancel that. Ace 10 suited combos. So sometimes he can't have those, he can't have that one. So sometimes he's checking, sometimes he's betting ace 10, like we said, with ace 10 off. So we'll just give him one combo. Back to range here. That looks pretty good. King, queen, he's probably not going to be betting king, queen. Need to remove those. I think I definitely made a mistake by removing king X of diamonds, king 10, jack, and queen of diamonds. He could definitely have those in his barreling range here. And then if he has any sort of like unsuited Broadway cards or any sort of weird random bluff, that's definitely going to shift the equity closer to our hand and further from a coin flip. King, queen, king 10, king, jack. Probably going to continue with ace jack suited. Maybe he sometimes checks, one combination of ace jack suited too, or ace jack off. It's really, it's not going to make a huge difference. So let's see where we're at here. Now against his range, it's pretty close. It's really, really close to a coin flip again. I had debated whether raising all in here. He has 900 remaining. He bet 300 on the turn. He's got 900 remaining. Now, if we assume that all of our diamonds are live, we've got 20%. If we assume that king of diamonds, the king of diamonds is dead, that only removes 1. Which is about 2%. I mean, what we need is, we need at least 4-1 to call here, okay? We're getting 2-1 to call here. If we bink the river, then we need to get paid on that original, we need to still get paid. And I think if we make a diamond, and he's got a pretty big hand, it's gonna be easy for us to get paid. Again, he bets 300, needing 4-1, and only getting 2-1, we need to make another 300 on the river. And if we bet 300 on the river, I think we can do that. If we bet 300, I think we're going to get paid 300 on the river, especially if he has a big hand. Again, I was kind of on the fence about raising or just calling here. I don't think folding is an option. We're still pretty deep and there's still a lot of money to be had. So I ended up calling, and we hit our gin card. This is a really, really great card. It is the 10 of diamonds. And at this point, he bets 300 again. So, I mean, that's great. We've already made a break-even call. To make money on this, we would need to raise $10, and there's already that in the pot. So we end up shipping it all in, and he ends up calling, and I show my hand. He gets really pissy, and he says, really, 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 and he ends up, he says, you were up against a set, is what he said. You were up against a set. So this is this is a great card. Now, when he bets like 300 on the river, this is when people bet like the same amount each street, that means that a lot of times I'll see that it means that they're kind of scared of the turn or the river card, and they just want to bet their hand, but they don't want to get raised. And they just kind of want to get the showdown. It's like a blocker bet. I see that a lot with top pairish type hands. Like again, in this case, he said he had a set. We end up winning, which is great. And that's it. So thanks for tuning in. If you have more questions, leave them in the comments below or message me. We can certainly go over this video and go into more things as well. There's a ton of different features. You can add players, you can put dead cards in there, you can give them a random range. There's all sorts of stuff you can do with this. This is kind of the scratching the surface, but a good amount of the surface has been scratched in this video. So hope you enjoyed it. Take care, go crush, you got this.